need help. Africa need help. You people need to come and help us. We are very poor. We live on tree.
Some of y'all are so Americanized, y'all don't even understand the disrespect that y'all be sending to our own people.
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi Leah. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back once again. So my usual disclaimer, please, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Do not go searching out anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comment, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So today is another diaspora war video because apparently this just never seemed to end. An African American brother said something that upset a lot of Africans. I'm just going to go right ahead and play his video.
When I have a child, I want to take them to Africa. You know what I'm saying? I want to take them to the motherland and let them see that, hey, we're blessed over here. You know, but look at them. They're staying in woods and trees. You know, I want them to experience that. And then we'll go to California.
So apparently this brother, who I think he's in the financial industry, if he's a financial advisor or investment advisor or whatever, I'm going to put the right term on the screen. So apparently that's what he does for a living, and he was being interviewed and he said that. So he said, just in case you did not hear, I'm going to repeat it. He said that when he has kids, he's going to take his kids to Africa. And at that point I'm like, okay, maybe he wants to take them to see where their ancestors came from, to see Africans on the continent, maybe learn the culture, take in the beauty of the motherland. It wasn't any of that. He wants to take his children to Africa so that he can see that we live on trees and in the woods. Basically, that we are monkeys. So, I mean, it's obvious why that would be offensive, right? So he made that video, and I'm not gonna lie, that video was just giving me the vibe of, you know, thank God for slavery. If not, I would have been in Africa suffering from this and that, just like this clip.
Thank God for slavery. And if it wasn't for slavery, I might be somewhere in Africa worshiping a tree.
That clip is very popular. I've seen it so many times. To think that our diaspora brothers and sisters are thankful for being taken out of Africa because of reasons like this is crazy to me. And they come on the internet and say it. But anyway, before I go in, let's hear what people had to say, okay?
They're staying in woods and trees.
So this message is for Anthony O'Neill. Now, I will say I had no idea who this person was, at least not before he made this idiotic video. And quite honestly, I don't think I was missing much. So in reference to the video that you made, talking about Africans living on trees and living in the woods, I'll explain to you why that was so offensive. We saw the video and we were extremely offended. Animals live on trees. People do not live on trees. Africans are not animals. Therefore, Africans do not live on trees. Maybe when I tell it to you that way, you'll understand why what you said was so offensive and so problematic. And that's why a lot of Africans are really pissed off by what you said. Now, I do not have to get on here and try to justify how beautiful Africa is to you. I'm not going to sit here and defend Africa. I'm not going to do all that, because all you need to do is just literally get on Google.
Simple Google search.
And you will see that we don't live on trees. But that was just too much work for you. You prefer to go with the insults, okay? Calling us animals, essentially, because that's really what you did. I mean, even dogs don't live on trees, but oh, Africans live on trees. You don't see how offensive that is? I haven't seen a single video of you apologizing to us. I haven't seen you. You just deleted the video and you were hoping that everything just disappears like it never existed. But you forget, this is the internet. The internet does not forget. And what you said was extremely offensive. I don't even need to tell you that. And like I said, I am not about to justify anything to you. I'm just here to call you out on your bullshit. And when you do have kids, please don't bring them to Africa. And you don't come to Africa either. We don't want you here. We don't want people like you here. Because you have no respect for us. So we don't want you here. Stay away from Africa.
When I have a child, I want to take them to Africa.
What?
You know what I'm saying? I want to take them to the motherland. Let them see that, hey, we're blessed over here. You know, but look at them. They're staying in
where?
In woods and trees.
In your village. Why do you think you have to carry your children to Africa to understand affliction?
Affliction, Papa.
You think there's no affliction where you are? Should we tell you?
Tell him.
This thing where people want to use Africa as scapegoat to understand a lesson on gratitude needs to be analyzed as premium madness. Why us? Affliction finished for your side?
They think they're in paradise.
Now, before y'all start, I understood this message. He's trying to let his kids know why they need to be grateful for everything that they have.
Okay.
I'm not even going to go into how developed Africa is. There is Google for that. It's the fact that we could even make the case that his kids will be able to relate more to things that they see within their own continent, because they're like, hey, we are low-key like in the same area and these things are happening. I didn't know. That makes even more sense.
He basically doesn't have to take his kids all the way to Africa for them to understand how fortunate they are. Like, there are places in America where people are impoverished, where people are suffering affliction, where people are poor and hungry, right? And it is easier for them to relate with people suffering in America, so that they will know that, okay, we're in the same economy, probably the same opportunities, yet some people are not able to live as good as we are. So why do you have to use Africa as a scapegoat when you could just teach your kids the same lesson over there in America? That's basically what this brother is saying, and I definitely concur.
Listen, Papa Motherland, you and your children can travel to Africa, but please don't let affliction relations be the reason you guys are traveling.
Affliction, Dad.
No madness today. All I have to say is...
But look at them. They're staying in woods and trees. So
we have so many fucking problems in this country, in America, that this guy saying this is completely laughable, because I only know like the bare minimum of things that are happening on the damn big ass continent of Africa. That him saying this is so funny, because it's like we are seeing the reemergence of like white supremacy and like Nazism. The children, the young boys are getting indoctrinated to be incels. Our school system is in shambles. There's states in this country where we have no drinking water. Oh, and by the way, as of today, September 18th, 10:30.
To be sincere, we over here, like for me, this is news to me, hearing that there are places in America where they don't even have access to clean drinking water. But that's all they say about Africa. So you guys are making it look like our life here is so bad. The Western media, that's what I mean. But over there in America, you guys have situations that are equally as bad. So if that isn't propaganda, let me know what it is. Like, there's suffering everywhere, there's poverty everywhere, there's affliction everywhere. Why does Africa always have to be the scapegoat? And they have sold this in the Western media that even this African American brother, he believes it, as educated and exposed as he is. This whole thing happened about 3 months ago, so it's not that far back. A full-grown, educated African American man is going on an interview and saying this as if the internet doesn't exist for you to educate yourself. Let's continue.
38 a.m. There's a flying jet plane that's unmanned, that's flying on autopilot, that the government cannot get down and they cannot find it. It could be literally over my head right now and fall right on me. And those planes can fly 6 to 8 hours. The government doesn't even know where it is. This cost like $80 million. But yeah, woods and trees. And by the way, that's the same thing, you know? That's the same thing. Woods and trees are the same thing, fool. Worry about your own problems. Ask yourselves why you're repeating white supremacist talk points, and then ask yourself why you have an embroidered cotton ball on your shirt.
I'm telling you guys, that hiss, that sucking of teeth is a universal African diaspora language for disappointment and frustration.
They're staying in woods and
I want you to keep in mind this video is from a page called Wealthy Mind. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna do this on my YouTube channel, but hey, Black American people, y'all need to understand Africa is not trees. Do you guys have the same Google in America like white people? Like, it looks like black people in America do not have the same Google as white people, most especially when it comes to the African parts. No, because if white people come to Africa and they sleep in nice houses and Hollywood brings movie sets here, they shot Bumblebee in South Africa, Queen of Katwe. So, Black Americans? No.
they're staying in woods and trees.
My goodness me, of fried plantains. Shots fired. The shots have been fired. My friend, you want to go to Africa. You want to take your children to Africa. But you think that we live in trees? Jesus. My friend, we have houses. Bigger houses than here. More beautiful than here. Let me tell you something. In Africa, where I'm from, when you buy your house and you pay your house, you own your house. It's not like here in America where you buy your house, you pay your house, you don't own your house. What type of foolishness is that? My friend, you want to go to Africa? Okay.
The amount of hisses that I've seen in this whole video, like, his stupidity is annoying people. His foolishness and what he said is so frustrating to people. By the way, what this brother is putting on belongs to an African tribe. From which country? I'm going to put it on the screen. I know that outfit and it's so beautiful. I wish I can get my hands on it.
Okay. Then cancel your subscription to National Geographic. Please. 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 Cancel your subscription today. But it's okay. It's okay. Us Africans, we are loving people. We are powerful people, but we are loving people. I have a gift for you before you go. Okay, please. Wait. Wait here. Wait here. Oh, just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
What is this?
Daft.
What was that? Someone please tell me what that was. I feel like I'm supposed to know what that thing is.
And woods and trees.
When I first saw this video, I felt like I was going to respond to some sarcastic video about me in a city or in a building here in Africa to prove my point. But I love movies, so let's respond from a movie angle. This is Darby and the Dead, an all-American high school teenage movie. This movie was shot entirely in Cape Town, South Africa. This is The Kissing Booth, an all-American teenage high school comedy. The Kissing Booth was shot in Cape Town, South Africa. Two movies that take an African city and convince you that it's an American one. Remember Moon Knight? Shot in Egypt. Yeah, Egypt is not just pyramids. And for my fellow Marvel fans, remember this legendary scene from Avengers Age of Ultron? This scene was shot in my birth city, Johannesburg. Iron Man and Hulk fighting amongst buildings in an African city. While we live in trees and woods. Your own filmmakers use our African cities as a replacement for your American cities, and you guys can't even tell the difference. And yes, large populations of Africans still live in villages near trees and woods. But genuinely, what is wrong with that? Last time I checked, we don't breathe thanks to buildings. Like, I see some of your cities and I'm genuinely worried about you guys. I'm like, what do these people breathe? Cement. My country, the Democratic Republic of Congo, has one of the largest rainforests in the world. Our forest absorbs more carbon than the Amazon. In other words, you are welcome. Imagine trying to shame people who breathe fresher air than you. Oya awati.
And woods and trees.
Any person saying that Africa is just a bunch of sticks and wood.
Okay, now you guys, I wanted to make this strictly a family conversation. I didn't want the palm color folks to be here, but I put this guy for a reason. What he said was very accurate as someone who was born and bred in Africa and lives in Africa and can confirm what he's saying. And another reason I put it here is, if a palm colored person can get it right, what excuse does our brother in another part of the world have to not know better? You know, like, if a palm color person can do their research and educate themselves and not speak with these white supremacist talking points, why should our own brother do that? Like, that's the point I want to make. So let's hear what this guy has to say.
And trees and mud huts has never seen a real picture of Africa. This is a real picture of what you would see going into Africa. In urban areas, modern day apartments, cars, buildings, houses are all very abundant. And it's not like some tiny top 0.5% of Africans that live like this. In 2015, around 40% of Africans lived in urban areas. And by 2020, that number increased to around 47%. And don't get it twisted, these some 53% of Africans that don't live in urban areas don't live in trash. They often don't live like this or like this. Often those rural areas look something like this, you know, well-built and clean. They're not usually covered in trash and have no water with nothing to eat. Now that being said, a large portion of Africa is heavily impoverished and can't afford clean drinking water or things to eat. I'm not trying to make it seem like those people don't exist, or that it's not a very hefty portion of Africa that does live like that. Obviously, homeless, pollution, clean drinking water, and food are problems in certain parts of Africa. And while yes, we should acknowledge them and try and help and support them and spread awareness about that, but it's not fair to generalize Africa as a place full of a bunch of tribes who have to hunt for their own food and live in pollutions and the sticks and trash. Africa is the richest continent on the planet. And most people have access to these same utilities you do. And the parts that don't are because of the country itself, rather it's because of billion-dollar corporations that took over those areas. Chevron, Nestle. But again, that is by no means the majority of Africa. That's it for me, fall for more. I'm out.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to the motherland. Let them...
You know what's ending me with this whole thing is the fact that he's so convinced of what he's saying. Like, he's so serious. My thing is he's worrying about the wrong things. What he needs to be worrying about when he has a child is the fact that he needs to have a conversation with that child on how to conduct themselves during a police interaction, because if not, there might be a dead body. The fact that he needs to have a conversation with his child on how to wear hoodie, where not to wear hoodie, because, you know, the fact that he needs to have a conversation with his child about the possibility that he might go to school and then, like, my guy, you're worried about the wrong things. Leave us in our trees alone. Like, come on now. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, looks like it's gonna be a windy night tonight, so I need to go find a steady tree.
And woods and trees.
I'm trying to think. Does the Americans really think before they speak or say something? Because it doesn't seem like they have any filters. Yes, we also don't have filters, but there is a fine line between saying something that has no substance, no value, no information whatsoever, to at least informed the public. You guys just blab. You blab, you literally blatantly disrespecting, disregarding, offending a whole entire nation. Are you guys not tired of being dragged through the mud? Not tired? I'm gonna ask again. Who are you? Because we are proudly South African. We built our houses in different structures. We're an eclectic architectural nation. We built houses out of every single natural composite that is to our disposal. And it has worked for many years. We've had multiple winds of destructive natures, multiple tornadoes, multiple earthquakes, and our houses are still remaining standing firm and strong. Most of our houses in South Africa are built out of bricks, concrete, cement. Do you guys even know what that is? And here you are saying that we in Africa live in woods and trees. Your houses are literally made out of woods and trees and straws. That's why when there's natural disasters, you just see houses flushed out everywhere on the streets of America. Guys, please stop this thing. Don't come for us. This is not the three piglets and the wolf. We are the piglet with the stone house, with the brick house in that story. You guys are the piglet with the straw house. I blew, and I blew, and I puff, and I puff, and poof. America is just as small. So please don't come for us. One thing you should have done is left this whole entire statement of yours until January, when we are all tired, broke, and just like not in a good mood. But now we have all this frustration.
Giving yourself, selling yourself. I love the South Africa people.
From January up until now, that we want to take out on someone, and here you are, killing yourself, serving yourself like tin fish and sardines. I'm telling you, leave us alone. United we shall stand.
Everybody is doing this. I wish more people from diaspora would travel and see Africa. Whatever lies you guys have been sold, you guys, come on. Even if you've not been to Africa, you can't still believe that. Like, you have the internet. At this point, anybody who chooses to hold on to those ideals about Africa being impoverished and everybody having HIV and being hungry in Africa, I believe it's a choice right now for you to still believe that, because as the internet, there are a lot of Africans that are living in diaspora that can also tell you that we have cities, and there are a lot of places in Africa that even probably look better than where you guys are. We have places that are highbrow areas, we have islands, we have luxury hotels. It is crazy for someone to still believe those stereotypes about Africa at this point. Anyway, he came out and made this apology video.
So I was off social media for the weekend to come back and to see hundreds, thousands, and millions of views on a video that showed me on a show that I shot about 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, with me saying that Africans are living in trees and in the woods. When I watched that clip and I went back to my show and watched the full context of the show, I am completely disappointed in my words. I am completely apologetic to my African brothers and sisters, because that was a very immature, a very distasteful comment for me to make. And I want to own that, and I want to apologize. There's two things that I know when it comes to communication. It's always about intent and then the impact. My intent was for sure to not disrespect the culture, the motherland. If anyone knows me, I am for the African American people. But that the intent doesn't matter right now, because the words that I spoke, the impact was bad. And I want to publicly, I apologize to my YouTube channel. That video is going up today. But I also wanted to come on Instagram and just apologize to my brothers and sisters, because that was a very immature statement of me to make. It was not articulated correctly of the intent of my heart. And I got to own that. To whom much is given, much is also required. And I said something that foolish on my platform, and I got to own it. I got to fall on the sword, and I got to apologize. And I apologize to everyone who I offended with that statement. I apologize to my black brothers and sisters. I apologize to the culture. I apologize to the community. And it will not happen again. I watched my own clip. Like I said, I rewinded it like 10 times. Like, Anthony, how did you say that? What? And so I was disappointed in myself. And I wanted to come on here and just apologize for saying something that crazy about my culture. And here's the thing, you guys. I know for a fact that my Africans are not living in that. I think I was speaking too fast. I said something that was inaccurate, and I didn't catch it. And I just want to come over here and not make any excuses, and own the fact that the impact that it had on my brothers and sisters, it harmed it. And I got to give my hats off to my African brothers and sisters, man. I saw one or two of the videos that were addressing my comments, and man, thank you. I forgot this. I don't know the sister's name. I didn't read the comments because the comments are kind of harsh. But one of the videos, man, was actually, I would definitely say, not hilarious, but it was very educational. Like, it was very, very educational on how she educated what's happening in Africa. And so I just want my African brothers and sisters to know I love you all. Thank you for calling me out on something that was inaccurate for me to say. And as a black man, I need to represent the motherland better. And I am going to Africa next year. We've already booked a trip. I can't wait. And I can't wait to learn about everything in Africa. To learn about every aspect, so I can come back and better represent our community, better represent better represent our heritage, better represent our community. So love you all. Please charge it to my head and not my heart. I'm going to do better at educating myself and representing the motherland, representing the Black community, the African community better on my platform, because my platform is about progressing us, progressing the community, progressing us financially. And I cannot, and I just cannot represent the African community that way. And so I want to be a man of my word, and I want to be integral, be a man of character, and own it, fall on the sword, and apologize for my foolish statement. That was a foolish statement.
The thing is, as much as what he said is offensive, I can't even be too angry at him, not because I condone what he did, but because he's our brother. That was really stupid. And whatever business you're advertising as a financial advisor, whatever it is you're doing, I personally would not be inclined to patronize you because I feel like you're not smart. I'm sorry. Yeah, but whatever. A lot of Africans in the comment section are dropping comments like this, talking about how they forgive, but they are still forgiving him while they are sitting in their mango tree. You know, a lot of people were angry, but they didn't take it overboard. And I feel like it's because it's a Black person that did this. If it was a palm color person, if it was a palm color person, I repeat. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this whole situation in the comment section. Africans living on trees. It's crazy. He really messed up. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.